Hello, guys. It's been a long time no see. How you guys doing? I hope everybody is good. I have been swamped, so swamped with bookings and just really crazy. So again, still recapping from we had a death uh in the family. So just re trying to structure life through that. So I hope you guys have been well. I've missed you very much. I hope all is safe and healthy. Please take care of yourself. This is a time with the new moon and the full moon that's going on that you really need to focus in on taking care of your health. If you haven't seen the new moon reading, please go back and watch that. Very important to be taking care of your health, not only for what we went through, but this is what the planets and the signs are actually talking about as well. So, okay, so I'm going to get this started. This is just a collective for you guys to see what's going on. For you, I haven't had time to do each individual. I'm hoping to do that this weekend for the last part of May. And do your individual signs. So go there. I don't know if it'll be in an all signs video, all at once, or if I'll be able to do, it separately like I always do. So just watch for those coming up. I have the weekend off. Yes, finally. And be able to do some of these readings for you again. So we have the Divine's card straight out from, and I have not seen this one. I have not seen this one in such a very long time. It is Into Me I See. Again, this is the number 8 in numerology. And Into Me I See is about literally that. This is not only into me I see physically, into me I see emotionally and spiritually. So where is it that you're at? The light, if you look at this card, they're asking me to focus in on the lights. Okay. So many of you know I get a lot of downloads. I call them plop thoughts. They're where it's all of a sudden they send things. This is divine guided. This is mostly done by downloads of listening to what the second dimension wants me to see, wants me to hear, those kind of things to share with a message for you, because this is for you. This isn't for me. And hopefully everything will be just cool and peachy keen. And this is for you. Although this is definitely looking into, they're saying more of the psychological and the more spiritual side of you, because they've asked me to look at the star in the center of the head, the lights around it. So light is always driven by divine, the second dimension. So what is going on with you guys? So there is somebody going through a lot of emotional turmoil, maybe going through, thank you. So they're saying somebody's going through a very doubtful, maybe negative process thinking, where they're not seeing the light, but they're seeing only the dark. This is somebody who's actually, um, gosh, they look at everything with a gloomy side. I don't know who that would be. However, when we get into depression, thank you. So they're saying somebody is depressed, somebody is down, somebody is struggling maybe with anxiety. That is the side where we look at everything that could go wrong, probably will go wrong. We look at what if this happens, what if that happens, things of that nature. They're saying that somebody is in this right at the moment, or during this next 2 weeks, and their thought process is really focusing in on not where things should be healthy thinking, like of the light, of the high vibration. And that's why he probably has me um, focusing in on the star on this little one's head, because that's where your eye chakra and your crown chakra are. That is where, if you open up to the spirit, if you open up to the second dimension, divine, whatever you want to call it, you're going to get your answers and you're going to see things in a different light. How do I know? I've been there, guys. I've been there. I've been depressed. I've been on pills. I've done that way back in my 20s. But I had a spiritual thing going on that I didn't understand. So when I got into my 30s, I was like, oh, I'm connected to something bigger than me. So, but it wasn't until my 50s that I actually started moving my life by spiritually doing things. So if divine says don't do it, I don't do it. If divine says go here, I go here. If divine says take this job, I take this job. The other way that I was living, the worldly living, thinking I controlled everything and I could do everything, this is where we run into trouble, because that's the worldly self, and your spiritual self is allowing divine to take control, surrendering and take control, and you will be surprised at how different things are. So this is a time to really open up your eye chakra, your crown chakra, to really pay attention to what positively is going around you in light and not dark. What is dark? Dark is actually the negative, the doubtful things, the low self-esteem, the low confidence, everything that is low vibrational. That is, the dark side. We just had May 4th be with you, right? So the dark side. So this could be considered dark side, low vibrational, evil. It could be shadow work. It could be, all just depends on how you focus your life on it. Okay. Definitely, Gentle Gardener is an oracle that is talking about taking care of self, cultivating yourself, growing yourself. I'm getting goosebumps for somebody, and it's the number 2. Okay. So I'm going to put that up there because these go hand in hand. Into me, I see. Divine wants you to understand and really remember that phrase today. Into me, I see. This is about self-improvement, self-growth. This is a time of inspiration with the planets and what everything's going on out there. This is a time for inspiration and growth. Okay. So I don't know what that is for you. However, for these next 2 weeks, it's cultivating into me, I see. So I'm not saying that this, you guys, this is a time where we, gosh, the world is all about me, 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 me. And yes, into me I see, but see, thank you. So he's saying it doesn't end with you. Okay, so it starts with you. Thank you. It starts with you, but it doesn't end with you. So this is what he wants you to understand. What the second dimension wants you to understand is whatever you're cultivating, the gentle gardener is all about taking care, making sure the weeds are out, making sure the water is there, making sure that there's food there, making sure that, there's enough sunlight, because you can't really grow too much in dark, well, unless you're in the rainforest. But the thing is that most everything has to have light. That's the vitamin D for human beings. Well, everybody thinks, with my nutrition and fitness degree, everybody thinks that vitamin D comes from the sun. No, it helps absorb. The sun helps you absorb vitamin D. So if you're low on vitamin D, you can actually be depressed. You can have anxiety, that kind of a thing. I always coach to people in my nutrition and fitness coaching. If you're really feeling down, maybe you're low on vitamin D, get some vitamin D tablets and help yourself out that way. Especially if you're in the Pacific Northwest, we got lots of no sun for certain months. It's changing. Climate change is really changing. However, let's get back to this. It's talking about gently taking care of yourself. Okay. I didn't see any cards here. Divine, if there's anything more that you want me to pull from the oracles or anything from the other side for the second dimension, let me know, please. But again, he's saying it doesn't end with you. Okay, this does not end with you. So really look at yourself. This is like a Virgo energy where you're self-analyzing, you're looking at yourself. Thank you. So he's talking about the planets too. We've got so many planets in conjunction and sextiling. We also have we've got Pluto just retrograding, but we've got a lot of planets following behind in the retrograde. That this is a time for self-evaluation. This is a time where we get the number 10. We've got the number 2, which is bringing things together. Okay, making a partnership, making something happen together. That is that cultivating that garden, cultivating your mind, cultivating and understanding and analyzing what is going on in my life right now. How can I make it better? How can I not listen to the shadow side, the dark side? Definitely. Look at this. Nurture, 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 nurture. This is for the next 2 weeks. Nurture, nurture, nurture. Okay. Somebody might be pregnant and they're trying to figure out what they want to do. God forbid, with all this news. I don't listen to it, but boy, You know, being pregnant and either, you know, taking care of yourself during that time, because you're not taking care of, again, you're not taking care of yourself. You're taking care of that life inside you. So into me, I see. Really paying attention. What we put into our minds, and we really become that. We really, thoughts have so much power, but even more power when we speak them. And because you can't retract them. Okay. That's why having self discipline, self control, are these upside down? Yes. Self discipline, self control is going to be really key. And what did I say? I've been saying this since the beginning. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. We got the 5 of Cups straight out of the chute. What does that mean? The 5 is very unstable. It could be a very new energy, but it's very unstable. Being that somebody is looking more at the negative, somebody's looking at the more pessimistic, somebody is looking, oh, the glass is half empty rather than the glass is half full. We've got a lot of conversation going on here. That's self-talk. So I don't know what's going on, but somebody's definitely got some low vibration going on here. All right. Sorry, guys. Went and saw my knee doctor yesterday, for those that know me. And it looks like I'm sort of stuck with this knee the way it is, at least for a while. Won't see him for another year. So I got to just keep stretching. Anyway, so somebody is definitely, so we need to, it's sort of like somebody needs to work on changing their thought process. And this is where you need to be gentle on yourself. Okay. But let's see what else the rest of the reading has for the next 2 weeks. Okay. The next 2 weeks, Divine, what is going on with the collective? I don't know who this is for. He's saying somebody's got a power trip. Somebody's got a power trip. Okay, thank you. Somebody in your life? Somebody trying to do a power trip? What I mean by a power trip, when that happens, or when he says that, somebody is what do they call that? They're so absorbed into themselves that they're never wrong. And if they're never wrong, that's a dangerous person to be around. That's a really dangerous person to be around. So if you have somebody like that in your life right now, really pay attention to that. Again, into me, I see, is this a person that wants to be, you know, supportive in my life? Is this a person that wants to love me for who I am? Again, and am I doing the same back? Definitely that could be going on. But there is definitely some person that is not being 100% honest to what's going on. And it's like, even if you showed them the facts, what do they call that? I know self-absorbed, but no, that's not the word I'm looking for. If you guys can help me out there, that would be great. But this is a person that can be dangerous, because if you even showed them the facts, whatever the facts are, that this person would say, nope, I'm still right. That is a very dangerous and toxic person to have around you. You don't want that person around you, guys. If you haven't seen my energy vampire video, definitely click onto that. That is a good video to explain what toxic people, how to recognize them, what to do about it, that kind of a thing, how to maybe handle those kind of things. Okay. Very good video. Not to toot my own horn, but I don't do these. Divine gives me the messages to do them. So I toot his horn. All right. So we've got the 5 of Cups straight out. Because this is a mind process. Again, we've got the Hierophant here. This is, again, into me, I see. Look into the spiritual side. Are you more worldly, or is the person around you more worldly? Is it somebody that you really need to look into and ask some really tough questions? This is a time where we're going to get deeper with thinking, and it doesn't mean bad thinking, because sometimes when we think about things, we actually go to the darker side, the shadow side. But if we really look at things, even if we look at something that isn't good, because we have the 7 of Swords in the middle, somebody who's betrayed you, somebody who's done you wrong, somebody who's, something has happened, that kind of a thing. We have a choice to look at it in a manner of learning, or we have a choice to look at it in a manner of, you know what, I don't ever want to talk to them. They're mean, they're rude, they're toxic, whatever it is. And you lose sleep over it. Okay, so somebody's going through something with somebody that maybe they just don't trust, won't want to deal with. Now that you have to look at this again and analyze this. Is this a good thing? Was it really good for me to know this information? What do I want to do with the information? It's like asset or assess and then act. Whether you don't want to act and then assess because you want to make sure that you have all the information. Okay. I don't know who this is for, but definitely somebody has been definitely has been hurt. Somebody who has been, or I think, oh, thank you. So somebody else has also been just told. Oh, lovely. Somebody's been told some like gossip, or somebody's told that, you know, something bad or negative or very negative about somebody. And you need to get the facts before you judge. Okay. It's sort of I'm watching the I'm watching the Depp and Heard thing online, and it's just like I sit there and I get the facts and make my own assessment. However, being in criminal justice, it's like it's sort of funny. It's sad. It's very sad for these two. They should have never been together in the first place. Never. And but that's just my opinion. I won't go. However, it's sort of in that sense where, you're given information, you're going to have to figure out what is true, what is not true. So your challenge card here, because I'm looking at two things. On this side of the deck, I'm looking at you, I'm looking at this other person. So somebody is actually really spiritual. Somebody is really trying to pay attention to that. However, I think this person actually so depressed. They're so depressed. I don't know who this person is. But the thing is, the challenge card is that you cannot see the opportunities in front of you. Then that's because of the mindset. So the mindset is to say, look at yourself. Okay, I am depressed. I do have anxiety. Am I doing anything about it? Am I taking care of myself? And if I am, then maybe you just need some coaching, maybe you need some counseling, maybe you need some therapy. And maybe, like me back in the day, I needed to do, I would think I was on Paxil, I think, for a while until I figured myself out. Then I didn't need them anymore because I realized my worldly thinking was keeping me depressed, keeping me in anxiety. My fears, my PTSD, my trauma, everything was keeping me stuck in the world because I was not thinking spiritually. And it is a spiritual battle that you're going through, not a worldly battle. This is a spiritual battle within you. Okay. All right. Let's see what else is going to, yeah. Trying to stand up for yourself, number 7. Yes, and this is a good thing. See, this is that analytical thing that I'm telling about. This is an unstable thing because we have 2 number 5s in here already. It's something new. When we say something stable, unstable, it could be unstable because you just don't know. You just don't have the knowledge. You don't have something to base it from. It's sort of like, ignorance. Everybody looks at ignorance being a bad word, but no, ignorance is just because somebody didn't teach you or somebody didn't give you a different perspective. So again, you're trying to stand up for the things you believe in, or this person is trying to stand up. Again, we still got the 7 of Swords in the center. I see 2 different people here. So we've got the person that is really just into themselves and they're always right, never wrong, will never say anything. And then we've got this other person that is just like, what do I do? I just don't know what else to do. God, I got like now I got 3 or 4. Can you guys slow down, please, on the other side? Please, please, please. I can only handle 2 at one time. Thank you. But there's somebody that has definitely been in their process trying to stand up for what they believe in, trying to show and validate who they are, trying to get somebody to understand that they're valued and there's other people are not seeing it. It's just sort of like when somebody says, you know what, let me give you a perspective, because the seven you're trying to stand up for, and it's sort of like saying that, um, if I were to say, oh, I really love when you tell me I love you, and the other person's like, no, that doesn't work that way. So you're devaluing me for what I need, which is affirmation to hear. So that's a love language kind of a thing. Whereas, like, no, I give you flowers, I show you that I love you, but that doesn't mean anything to me. So you're devaluing my feelings, my perspective, my energies. And that's what you're standing up for. Somebody is trying to stand up for their energy of who they are, their authentic self. And somebody else is putting their own perspective, their own spin on it, and telling you, no, it's not. So this is happening more and more and more in this generation, in this world right now. It's like, look at it my way. Again, we're back into see into me, or what is this? Into me I see. Okay, we're back into that. And this is not the way that it works, but the world is really changing. It's really becoming ugly. So you're really going to have to stand up for yourself a little bit more. And for whoever this person is dealing with, somebody who's betrayed or hurt you or whatever, you're just going to have to look at it and say, hey, you know what? I know what you did. You can admit to it. You don't, whatever. Okay. Or you can just keep denying it, but second dimension sees it. Good luck with that. I had that happen this week, actually. I had somebody come and they were trying to steal. I obviously, we've watched them take it. They had it in their bag. The bag was full. I honestly thought it was going to be on Facebook, because I confronted the person at the door, blocked the door, wouldn't let the person out. Much bigger than me, much wider than me. And looking them straight in the eye, basically I can only do certain things as a manager. But the thing is, I looking them straight in the eye, telling them with my eyes, I know you stealing it. I know you did it. I know you stole many things. And they're like, no, I didn't. Nothing's in my bag. And looking at them, knowing, she was a little nervous because her partner, she was like, what do I do? She's not letting me out. And I said, just give me the stuff and you can go along your way. Interesting confrontation. Interesting. But I really thought it was going to be on Facebook, because when I turned around, there was a whole bunch of people there. Then I thought, oh my gosh, somebody's taping it. Somebody's going to probably put this on Facebook. And then I would have really had to talk myself out of it, or not talk myself out of it, but have to be because everything is recorded. It's all done by cameras and stuff. So I would have had to explain myself a little bit better, because when you chest bump this woman, let me tell you, it would have turned out very differently if it was my company. You don't chest bump me or get in my face in that manner. Trust me. It's called a taser. Anyway, so we've got the world now. We've got the world showing up. There is so many opportunities. Your challenge card is the opportunities card, guys. This is your challenge, because somebody is not seeing the opportunities. This card here, somebody is so focused in on all this noise that they do not see the prize in the center. Okay, I don't know who this is. And the Hierophant is trying to show you divine, the second dimension. And he's saying, look into myself, pay attention to yourself, because that's where it's going to be. I don't know who this is for. Now, if you're talking about a relationship, you're talking about a job or whatever it is, you got to get focused, whoever this is. You have to stay focused. The distractions here, all this noise here, I call it noise, is people talking, telling you what to do, telling you what you to think, telling you, oh, you should do this, oh, you should do that, oh, don't do that, don't do this, and you're driving yourself nuts, because you're paying attention to the world noise. The only way that you're going to figure it out, whatever it is by looking into yourself and paying attention to what divine says. This is a spiritual awakening time for somebody. And here's the thing, once you do this and you pay attention to all the signs, all the signals, all the drop thoughts, or if you want, I call them plop thoughts, your intuition, and you follow that, you're going to be amazed. And then all of a sudden, what's going to happen is you're going to like, wow, that was coincidental. It's not coincidence. You paid attention. You paid attention. And so you won't have to be fighting anymore. You won't have to have, you'll know when people are being deceitful. As an empath, I'm I may not know that you're lying to me at the moment, but divine will show me either in that day or somewhere around it that you're lying. And if I do not see it, it's very rare because I'm so sensitive to energies that I pick everything up. Okay. So even for like that person shoplifting the other day, as soon as they walked through the door, I felt their energies. I said, this is not a good person. We're going to have a problem with them. And before you know it, I'm getting chest bumped at the door. Anyway, definitely. Okay, so we're talking about somebody's relationship here. Definitely talking about a relationship. Definitely talking about gosh. Somebody did betray somebody. Now, whether it was hurtful, it could be as little as hurtful talking, it could be as big as cheating. It could be just leaving. There's an energy of just leaving and not telling somebody. I don't know who that's for, but this is at the center. This is at the center. This is somebody, I want to say this is maybe not you, but somebody you know. Maybe you're sharing a story, or maybe you're sharing everything with. This is somebody being very pessimistic. This is a Virgo, not Virgo. This is somebody who's not looking at, I don't know who's backing up. Yeah, probably Amazon. You hear the beep, beep, beep. But this is definitely somebody looking at the negative everything. Again, this is about being gentle with yourself. Time to change a mindset for somebody. Definitely. Time to look at things a little bit differently, because you have the world, you have lots of opportunities, but again, the noise, it's not only noise in your head, it's you pay attention to people, to things. And when I'm coaching somebody, I tell somebody, go away from everything, go away from all the people, go home, relax. Even if you're in a family situation or a roommate situation where you got people around, go to your room where it's quiet, where you can actually sit there and think and just be still for a moment and listen to the second dimension, listen to divine. This is where he's saying, into me I see. This is, again, cultivating. This is a time of taking care of yourself, okay? Because, yeah, definitely somebody's in the middle of something. The problem is you're looking at the past to make things better. You can look at an experience. Yet we go through experiences to learn something, but we don't stay there. We learn something and we don't carry it with us. We don't put it in our suitcase and pack it and say, well, I'm going to bring that with you. You cannot grow that way. So whoever is doing that, you cannot grow. It's like, since we saw the Lover's card, you're trying to bring an old past mindset or an old past relationship into the new relationship. And this is where it's creating you no sleep. Because for somebody cheated or somebody did something wrong. And so you're bringing that with you. And then you cannot heal and you cannot stop listening to the noise. And that could be just in your own head. We create a lot. Our mind is so powerful. We create so much havoc for our own selves that if we stopped doing that, if we took this 5 of cups and turned around and looked at the 2 that were still up, our whole view and everything would change. That 5 would turn to a 4. That would become a great foundation. It would become stable, where the number 5 is unstable. Okay. But there's definitely somebody around you that likes chattering, is loving to be the noise. I don't know who that is, but definitely they're living it up. They love it. It's like, oh, lean on me, lean on me. That's noise. If somebody is sitting there creating kerfuffle, creating gossip, creating stuff at work. We got one girl that just loves to bring a little tiny thing and make it a huge mountain. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. That is not healthy. So if you got somebody like that in your life right now, definitely not healthy. But there is definitely something going on with somebody dealing with the past, dealing with a lover, and dealing with depression, anxiety. Like I said, I've got all these energies coming in, and it's like in my head when I do these readings, or even if I'm talking to somebody, it's really sort of hard because it's like, can I come in? Can I come in? I want to say this. I want to say this. Can I say this? Can I say this? Can I say this? And it's like you've got all this noise that you have to learn how to stop. So if you're an empath and you have all that, or if you're audible, then you have to learn to control that and say no. I only want divine to come through, or the angel that he sends to send that message through. That's all I want, because those other noises, whether it be here on earth around you or the noises of other people that have passed, yes, they want to share what they know now with you. However, the number one person or energy or entity or whatever you want to call it in the second dimension you want to pay attention to is divine, because they'll steer you off. They'll steer you off. Been there, done that. When I first was trying to control everything, been there, done that. And they'll steer you off, and then you're going to lose the focus of what you're trying to get the message through. So I just say, divine and angels come through. But it is really, really hard, definitely going through that. Okay, I'm going to switch decks because that's not. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to see, for those of you that are not in a relationship, that want to be in a relationship, I'm going to do a little bit of love and see what's going on for you for the next 2 weeks. And you'll see in my readings them change a little bit, just because, not everybody is going to be in a relationship. Somebody said, well, why don't you just do love readings? Because not everybody has that in their life, and everybody's not going into a relationship or in a relationship. Sometimes we need to be by ourselves into me, I see, before we get into a relationship, because there's many people that are in relationships should not be there, because they should have healed before they went into a relationship, just like Johnny and Amber. They should have healed. They should not have been in a relationship whatsoever. Anyway, again, that's my opinion, and that's just from coaching and all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's see what's going on in love for those of you that are going through it. Oh my God, seriously? So somebody, again, this is a time to analyze. This is the time to really think about what you're in that relationship for. This is a time to really talk to yourself about the truth, your authentic truth. Because something's going on in somebody's relationship, again, that there's been a lie, there's been deceit, because got the 7 of Swords right in the center. We got the 5 of Swords, and then we have the Page of Swords. It's all about the truth. Okay, it is all, we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So this is something that may be already known. So if you knew something going into it, or if you knew something going into a relationship, but you kept going, this is something now at this time you should reevaluate if you're going to stay there. It's all about the truth. Now, the truth could be for the other person, or this could be for you. Okay. This is definitely something that you really need to take care of during now. Here is now. Now is here. This is the time to do this in the month of May, because you've got to be walking in your authentic self. And that is taking care of yourself. That is your garden. That is number 2, bringing things together for yourself, so that you can then be your better self, to be a conduit to others. Okay. But this is definitely wearing somebody down, because we have the 7 again in the center of the reading. We have the 9 of Swords. Again, you're losing sleep. We got the number 5 Hierophant. They're not paying attention to the spiritual side. They just are seeing the earthly side and not really focusing in on the absolute truth. We're looking at worldly truth. Worldly truth is not truth. It's knowledge. Okay, very different. So whoever this relationship is, sorry guys, I don't know. You know, sometimes people ask me questions and I'm like, do you really want the answer? Because divine's giving me the answer. It's not me. And the thing is, you might not want to hear it. Okay. Especially when people talk to me about their careers. Should I be a lawyer? Should I be a doctor? I'm like, you need to listen to that, because whatever I tell you, you may not like it, and it might not be the right way to go because you're not listening to divine. Okay. Because if maybe they want to be a doctor, they really want to be a doctor, but their purpose and calling is to be a lawyer, I'm going to tell them your purpose and calling is to be a lawyer. And they're like, well, I don't want to be a lawyer. So that's really hard doing readings, because a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, the absolute truth from divine. And that's what's going on in this relationship. You're listening to your friends too much, or you're listening to outside stuff. Again, this person, whoever's in this relationship, where either there's been betrayal, been lying, even, thank you. So he's saying, even if there is doubt, if you have doubt, he says, this is not me. This is, I don't create confusion. I don't create doubt. And that's what divine says. If you're creating doubt, if your shadow side is coming up, if you're confused, or if things aren't making sense, this is where the truth needs to come out. You have to be 100% truth. You have to be strong and have the courage to be able to walk away. Nine of Wands. Again, the Nine of Wands, something coming to an end. You have the Eight of Wands, Nine of Wands, and then the Four of Wands, a celebration at the end. You become stable. You become working on yourself. You become definitely taking care of yourself. You be looking into me, I see. This is not what I want. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not what love is. I mean, you look at you look at different relationships, and love is supposed to be kind and supportive and growing and nurturing and just being there to help. Love isn't any doubt. Love isn't deceit. Love isn't, can I look at your phone? Can I see your, what's going on with your phone? No. Why would you want to do that? There, when that creates confusion. Okay, well, can I trust you? Can I not trust you because you've already cheated, or have you already done, things of that nature? You really have to look at in this relationship, because obviously there is some insecurity and trust issues going on this relationship. I don't know who this is, but in this love relationship here this month, it is something you need to reevaluate internally, spiritually, if you really want to put up with it. If you do, and it's happened before and it's continuing, it is not something you want to keep going with, because that is not love. Sorry, that's what he's saying. Okay. So, see, I tell you, you want me to tell you all this lovey-dovey stuff, but unfortunately, this is what he's sharing with me. This is what he's wanting me to tell you. So it's got to be for somebody who's going to be watching this at some point in time. It could be years down the road. It could be now. But definitely, this is a time to stop listening to the noise. Turn this around. Turn this challenge card around. Stay focused in on one thing. One thing. Self-love. Self-love. Self into me, I see. Growing yourself spiritually. Open-minded. Listening to your intuition. Okay? Taking care of your health. Taking care of your mind. People were saying, when I took a vacation here last month for a week, where are you going? What are you going to do? No, I'm staying home. I'm taking a mental health vacation. Then what happened? Divine knew what was going to happen. We had a death. And so I had to take care of all that stuff. I could see everything that he was doing. I could see it. It was just like, now I knew this was going to happen, and it did. And sometimes having premonitions and knowing is really hard, especially when it's around death. Just like when I knew my brother was not coming home. I didn't know how he was going to die in Florida, but definitely he was murdered, and I was trying to get him home before it happened. But you know what? If divine wants something to happen, it's going to happen. So we cannot stop his will. All right. Right, Bill? He's on the other side. I love him. Okay, so let's talk about career a little bit. What's going on with your work? What's going on with money? What's going on with that? So we have Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so we have things that you want and desire, maybe happening. We have the Ace of Wands, a new offering, a new opening up, and we have the Two of Wands. This is for your future. Wow, this is beautiful, you know. This is definitely, what do you want? Where are you at with your work right now? Where your school or wherever you're at? What are you doing? And is this your passion? And is this your calling that you're doing? And again, into me, I see, into gardening, making sure that this is something you really, really want to do. Because I'll tell you right now, what door you open now is going to affect your future. Because you have the two of wands, the Ace of Wands, because that's an opening to something new, the number one, a new beginning, a new start. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles, okay? It's something that is intense, something that you desire, something that you really want, something that is just about, in your hands reach. So really pay attention that you are doing whatever work or school that you love. If you are begrudgingly doing it, this is the wrong thing for you. Okay, if you absolutely hate it, here's the thing. Thank you. So he's saying, if you're doing something that I did not have you do, welcome. If you're doing something I did not set you up to do, that means your purpose or your calling. One, you're not in my will. Thank you. Oh, Moe, I'm getting a lot. You're not in my will, for one. Number two, you're going to become sick because it's creating you stress. And three, your mental state is going to actually not be at its highest, where the highest vibration is, where the highest light is, because you're doing something that is out of his will. Okay, so your purpose and your calling is going to be something that you love, desire. It's coming up, it's new. So this month, really think about, we're only going to the 15th, but we'll follow that after. But we're also thinking about what we want to do for June, July, August. And because we have the Two of Wands in there, we're thinking about our future and bringing something together. Okay, we're definitely looking into that. All right. Yes, you may ask a question. Sure. All right. So in your career, this is a time somebody is not in their purpose and their calling, and they are really need to evaluate into me, I see. And again, when you do the into me, I see, into me, you really need to do self-evaluation from absolute truth, divine. That's why I say you got to get in a quiet place. You got to sort of get into a meditation or a prayer or whatever it is that you need for yourself, because we have the Hierophant next to your challenge. And somebody's going to say, well, I don't want to do that. Don't. But you know what? You end up living in that world cycle over and over again. And you just delay the things that you should have for yourself. Divine has already given you everything. However, you are delaying it by your stubbornness to not want to open up your mind to possibly listening to your intuition, listening to that gut thing, and really paying attention to where your future is going to go. Oh, that's a lot. That is more than one question. That's a lot. Your marriage life, definitely. I don't know if you're asking about your marriage life. You definitely have to know what you want for your marriage and what and who you want. Same with your career, just like I'm talking about. You have to know, into me, I see what I want. The problem with a lot of relationships, like this relationship for somebody right now, is they settled for somebody who they shouldn't have been with. They settled with them, and now they're facing things of deceit or lying or cheating or whatever, and now they've got to make a new decision to really focus in on me, because it is about you. If you want to put up with it, if you want to allow that, if you have a toxic relationship, really analyze if you want that in your life or not, because again, it's not in his will. You're following low vibrational, low energies, and you're staying in something that is very, very low. Okay. And that is like doubt, deceit, low self-esteem, confusion, um, anything of those natures. If that's happening in a relationship, you need to evaluate and say, you know what? Set your standards, set your boundaries, set your goals. I have a video out on that. Set them, stand by them, and go with them. Again, if it's you're worried about are they toxic or not, watch Energy Vampires. That's a good video for you that I did. And that one's fairly new. All right. And your career is the same thing. Same with your career here that you're asking about. And your career growth will happen in a positive manner if you are in the will of your purpose and your calling. If not, you're going to be struggling through that career. Okay? If it is something where you're supposed to be, it will become easier and easier. And you'll even have divine give you you won't even know it's happening. It's just like, well, wow, that came really easy, or this was really easy. Well, yeah, I struggled with this, but you know what? I caught on real quick. Wow, what is the deal with that? I had a job, the same thing. I was like, why the flip am I here? This is not a place I want to be, but you told me, because like I said before, I'm very spiritual. If God, divine, or whoever you want to call it, says, I want you to go do this job, I'll go do it. And I'm like, why? I don't, just like my job I'm in now. Why am I here? And then before you know it, I see why I'm here. But the thing is, I learned I didn't know anything about gardening, anything about plants, anything, but it wasn't about the plants and the job or anything like that. It was actually, he was giving me a gift and a blessing through that job because I didn't know I would end up in the hospital and sick. And they paid for my rent and paid for my medical and everything. So listening to that and listening to whatever it is in your marriage life or your career life, listening to those things in your, even if you don't like them, go with it, because I don't know what divine has for you, but definitely there's something coming and you will see it later. You're going to see it later. All right. All right. Is there anything in career from the other side, please, that I can share with anybody? Thank you. So he's saying just really focus in on your future, but focus now. I know that's confusing, and it's sort of confusing to me, but not really, because I've worked with him for so long. So what he's saying is don't think about the future so much. Think about right now. Okay, what's happening right now? What is it that you can do in a positive manner right now? And the thing is, he says, stop listening to the noise. He keeps saying that. Stop listening to the noise. Stop listening to people. Stop listening to what parents. Stop listening to, yes, parents have a phenomenal amount of wisdom, and elders have phenomenal amount of wisdom, but they're not in your journey. So really focus in, even if you have to go sit in the quiet, go sit outside, sit in your car, no music, no nothing. Just sit there and think, what do I really want? What do I really want to do? Do I really want to be with this person? And really, you're going to sit there and you're going to have spiritual awakening moments like no tomorrow, because now you're connecting. You open that telephone line. Okay? Because now you open that telephone line. Tell me, is this something I need to leave? Is this something I need to do? Is this something I should be doing? Asking for that telephone line, that guidance, and listening to your intuition, or for me, I call them plop thoughts, because all of a sudden he'll give me a thought out of the blue, or I'll hear something, or whatever, or I'll feel an energy, and then I go with that. Because a lot of people here on Earth, and especially, we got a lot of people from other countries that watch tarot and things like that. You listen to the energies more than you listen to the people. And that's why a lot of countries go to tarot or go to somebody who's spiritual or go to some, because we're working from a different plane, a different dimension. I don't work from this dimension. I have to live in it. However, I don't work in it. And that's why it's really important, whatever is going on here, to really pay attention, because coming June, July, and August, there's definitely you're going to need that. And if you don't catch it right now, in the now, you may just miss it. And it doesn't mean you won't get it later. It's just you've delayed it. And that's the thing, is when we start thinking about me, world, 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 this is what I want, this is what I need, this is, physically what we want, what we need, then we actually become more worldly, and our world, and that again is that low vibration. That is, if you want to call it the devil, you want to call it evil, you want to call it, not good. I call it low vibrational, where then it starts to place doubt. Should I have done this? Should I have married them? That is not divine. That is low vibration. That's that shadow work. That's that evil side, whatever you want to call it, that keeps you stuck in that old mindset, that old person, or whatever, the past relationship, bringing it forward. I don't know. I don't know who this is for, but definitely he's got me sharing that. I could keep going on and on. Yeah. No, we're only going to the 15th, please. He's like, I want to share more. I want to share more. I can only go to the 15th. I will be doing another reading from the 15th to the end of the month. So if you haven't subscribed, this is a good time to do that, and hit that notification. But too, remember, 2022, you guys, if you're subscribers, you can get free readings and free coaching. So just go to my website, divinewarriorintuitive.com. Okay. And that's my plug. But I hope you subscribe. I hope you enjoy this. But let's see what else Divine has to say. Okay, so we talked about love. We talked about career. We talked about a couple energies that are just not very nice energies. Definitely keeping you or somebody else. There also might be some travel here coming real quick for somebody. Definitely just sort of out of the blue. Not a bad thing. This is something maybe that you have wanted to do. However, make sure it's something that you want to do. This isn't somebody talking you into something, like, for example, hey, do you want to go to Vegas? And you're like, not a gambler. And you're like, nah, not really. Oh, come on. You got the days off. Let's go. Well, okay. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because one, you're wasting time. That's that low vibration trying to give you noise, distract you from staying on path. Follow that gut instinct. Follow that intuition. All right, Divine, what else do you have to say before we head out? The High Priestess, again. Four of Cups, awesome. Somebody, again, is thinking too much, pessimistic. And then we have Death in reverse. This is a good thing, guys. To close with this is good. Here's why. The High Priestess is the pair to the Hierophant. Again, I cannot make this stuff up. I don't know how it works. I just know it does. We have the Four of Cups. That means somebody is just thinking too much, in their depression, in the low vibration, into anxiety. How do you get through that? Contact me. I'll help you out. In coaching, at least, if you have to go to a therapist or something, sometimes you have to do that. However, I can at least give you some tools and tips. But it's just changing it. When you start thinking, oh, well, I'm not good enough. They don't like me. Now just say, who cares? They don't like me. This is me. This is who I am. This is my authentic self. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. When we pass on, none of that is going to matter. What we take with us matters. What we cannot take with us does not matter. We can't take another person with us. So their opinion, it's not their journey. Okay. And then we have Death in reverse. Death in reverse, everybody looks at death being horrible. It isn't. It's just a separation of energies. Okay, we separate, but they're still around. I can almost, well, no, I'm going to say I can guarantee it. Now, how long are they around for? I don't know. But I know that there are loved ones around us, because I have spoken to my mom, I have spoken to my brother, and they have spoke back. And it actually had some verification to it. Factual verification from this dimension. And I think that's in my paranormal video that I have. However, this means that it's not to separate. It is the number 2 to reverse it. This is in reverse. So it means that it is bringing things together, bringing things to happen, bringing a partnership together, also bringing balance back together. Again, bringing balance back together. So again, when you go through all this stuff, whatever it is you're going through, let it go through. Feel the pain, feel the hurt, feel the cry, whatever it is that you're going through that's keeping you up. or putting your mindset there first, go through it, because you know what? At the end of the day, it's going to bring everything together. You got the number 2, 3, 4 times. You got 2. You got 2. You got 2. Okay. And we got the number 7. This is about improvement. We've got 1s about new beginnings. We've got the world. Okay. We've also got opportunity. This is a chance to take some type of opportunity that you're going through and really saying, is this my purpose? Is this my calling? Is this my desire? Where's that 9? This is my desire. And if it is, and even though it's scary, give it a try, because I really think you'll be surprised, because this is for your future. This is for beyond May. This is for June, July, August. It may even be into 2023. Okay. Fear is good. Fear can be good. Anxiety is beyond fear. Fear can be, oh, I'm scared, but I want to do it. I'm anxious, but I want to do it. I want to try it. That's that new energy. That's that number 5 energy. Okay. And that's what's in here. Give it a try. Number 5, give it a try. Make it from that novice to an intermediate level. Novice is number 5. Scary. Ooh, it's new. I'm not sure. Same with Hierophant. Give him a try. Give the divine a try. Listen to this. And then see what happens, because it'll turn it to a number 4. More foundational, more calm, more peaceful, and it creates a solid foundation. Whatever it is. Because when you got the High Priestess and the Hierophant together, there's nothing but good that can come for whatever you're trying to decide, whatever you're trying to go through, especially in this relationship that there's been betrayal or deceit or doubt or confusion. I'm going to tell you from a coaching aspect, if somebody's creating doubt or confusion from your relationship, it is not meant to be. You're in the wrong relationship. Right there, straight out. Okay. If there is compassion and love and support, and you can test this, you can bait them to test this to see if they're really on your side or not, because you don't want to waste time with the wrong person. And many, many, many people are doing that, sadly. All right. So I hope this was helpful to you guys, and I'm glad that you popped in. Thank you for your question. Definitely, you can always come in and ask a question. Hopefully it's during the, you usually get your answer in the reading. However, if you're not, I don't mind answering them at the end. But I do hope this helped in some way for someone out there. And if this is your reading and you resonated with it, if you need to reach out, don't forget my email is there. You can always email me. I get people from all over the world emailing me their things that they're going through, their concerns, their questions, things of that nature, because this is, again, into me, I see. This is even for myself, but I am the conduit. I see me, I walk in absolute truth as best as I can with what Divine says, and I am the conduit for him. And that's what my life is about. All right. I hope this was helpful. I hope that he gave you a message of hope. I hope he gave you a message of love. And I really hope that whatever you go through until the 15th, that you do it in a positive, high vibrational love. And even if you have to argue or let somebody go because they're toxic, do it gently, do it in love. And where did the gardener go? Because that is being loving to not only them, because somebody out there may love them in the way that they need to, or especially after they heal, but it is also taking care of self-love. Into me, I see. Remember that today. Live in the now and think about the future, but don't live for the future, because we never know. Today could be our last day, and we want to make it the best day that we can. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for your time, because time is precious. I hope you have subscribed or liked or shared, and I will see you for the 16th. And but also too, I'm going to try to get everybody's signs done this weekend. So if you want to see me live again, Watch for me probably Saturday morning, Pacific time, United States Pacific time. I'm probably going to be on here between 8 and probably 8 and noonish, somewhere around there, if you want to see your readings. I don't know who I'm going to start with, though. I don't know if it's going to be the earth or fire. I don't know who I'm going to start with. That's Divine's choice, because he picks who I start with. All right. Take care. Love you guys. Miss you guys so much. And I wish I could be on more. But hopefully in the future, God willing, I will. All right. Take care. Love you guys. Thank you for stopping in.